You've done a lot of public servant service and being on city council. What was that like?
I think that everybody should work in customer service at least once in their life because they can start to see what customers are like and how some of them behave. And I think it's similar in public service.
Okay.
You know, as a council member and as a commissioner, there are so many people in our community grateful for what you're doing, or coming to you with an earnest request, can you help? And then there are a handful who either are complaining, and sometimes their complaints are legitimate. But I saw one the other day, and I've seen this comment before, and it's usually complaining about people's driving styles.
Okay.
And when I read that, I thought, this is not a city government issue. In some ways, I do think that people, whether it's society now or if it's just developed that way, they think that government is the solution to everything. It's not, but it's about using those resources and those tools to make the community a little bit better. And I think that's where some of the frustration society has found today is because there are people who want government to do a lot
everything.
more, and there are people who think that, you know, government doesn't do enough. And that's going to be always the push and pull and the struggle of where we ought to be.
You've seen all kinds.
You know, we have a portion of the city meetings called public comment, and people can come and share their thoughts. If you listened to only that portion of the meeting, you would think that you live in the most mismanaged, adversarial community. I mean, we have our challenges, that there's no doubt. But on the whole, when I look at my neighbors and other communities or other areas of the country, this is a pretty stellar community. You can never do enough. You know, for me, I put a lot of my heart, I put a lot of my time, I put a lot of my energy into being a council member. But at the end of the day, at the end of the week, there was always something that someone would say, you didn't get that done. And sometimes it was polite, you didn't get that done. And other times it was, you're an abject failure because you didn't get something done.
Yes.
And, you know, I think what I would say with regard to public service or just life is one thing that's missing is grace.
Yeah.
So that was tough because I would go home at the end of the day and I would think, gosh, I worked really hard. And then I'd get some sort of message that, well, as hard as you worked, it wasn't good enough.
You know, that's a good word, grace. We need to be graceful, gracious with more of that. Yeah, so there you go for people out there. Yeah, more grace. Extend more grace to people. So